and welcome back to Discovering Databricks. Today we're going to create a relationship between two different resources so we can navigate between them easily. But I'm not sure if we're going to use this in the long run, but it makes for such a good video, so I want to make it anyway because it's an important piece of the puzzle, even though we probably want to move the functionality over to the regular attribute list instead at a later point. But to start, if we look at the view we have, I would like to add this new list on the side here. And if we click on another resource that's related to this one, we want it to show up in this piece of the view. And I did a mistake the first time I did it because I had a pop-up modal box where you select the resource, and I thought that, well, since it's a resource I'm selecting, I'm adding it to the resource. I'm making a new, let's see, view web object, web lookup wizard. So in my mind, I thought I'd just take a resource because that's the kind of selection list I want, without thinking that it is actually this child resource I'm selecting, because in the view I'm in the main resource. So that's why we have the child resource as an alias table, because we want to kind of link them together. And that caused a lot of issues with selection didn't working, and I had to manually update the database and make sure that everything was working. So this time I'm going to try to do it the correct way, and that is to create this child resource web lookup. And we're going to take the name and a template ID, and again the template ID we want to use a special function to modify that. All right, and you can actually see what it did. So now we have the child resource web lookup, and it's using the child resource data dictionary. That's for starters. And if you look at the resource data dictionary, this one is still the same. But if we look at the child resource data dictionary, why don't we have a child resource data dictionary here? Table, child resource data dictionary. Why doesn't it show up out here? F7. Here we have the old child resource web lookup, and it's registered and included here. So that's why it works with the child instead of the regular one. So now we can go into our resource view, F7, and we want to add this kind of grid here. So let's take the palette, select a web grid, and add it up here. I think we want to make it about 5 and put it out there. So here we go. Now we have a related resources web grid. And this one should have server called C related or related resource DD, but we don't have that yet, so we need to fix that. We go to the DDO Explorer and we want to add the related resource, and we want to add the child resource. We're going to need them both. So now we can set server to O related resource DD. Now this one is up here, and it is having the resource as server, but we want to serve it the child resource as well. So we're going to add that as a server so that it links up to the child resources. Now, if we select a new column, we want to have the child resource name and child resource template as columns here. And if we now run it, missing 2. Okay, set server 2. So let's see what's happening. Now we have this list here, and I played around with this before, so I already have the main router in here, and that's related to the Argus server. So if we go into the main router, you see the Argus server. We could actually go in and clean that out in the database. We view table, and now we want to delete that line and that line. So we had one link that points to the other resource and one from the other resource that points back. So when we add a new resource, and now if I click edit, I should be able to edit this. No. Go in here. I cannot edit this one because I have to set, let's see, PB prompt button to true. And I'm not sure if there's, it seems like it's a bit disabled. So if I run here, click edit, yeah, now I get this one. But I still want the modal pop-up that we created to show up. And why isn't that showing up? Perhaps use child resource web lookup. This should be included when we use the child resource data dictionary already. But no, yeah. Oh, wait. That's a good question. Why isn't this one? Can we find it somewhere? Yeah, it is in the child resource data dictionary. Oh, it's in the bottom if web app then use. So it should be used. Let's try and see what's happening if we use it here as well. No. Now I know. We need to go down to the list and not only have the button, but we also need to set the procedure on prompt so that we know what's happening when we click the prompt button. Here we want to send pop-up of child web lookup. No, the child resource web lookup. Child resource web lookup. Web lookup. So why is it complaining of this? Invalid message pop-up. Could that be that we need this one to be included here as well? Should not need it here, but let's see if that makes a difference. Resource. There it is. That's a bit weird. But yeah, now we got the list. So if I now select the main router and click OK, the main router is selected. And if I save this and then go back in, there is no main router here. So we need to make sure that it's saved as well, I guess. Though this is the tricky part with Dataflex standard logic. So if we go in here, click the router, then tab out to the next line, now this one is marked as savable or something. So if I now save it, go back in, it is saved. I'm not really sure if there is a property you can set that triggers it to save automatically. So we have the prompt, and when we get back, we have the procedure on close modal dialog. And in here, we would like to make sure that this is saved. And I'm not exactly sure what property is set when you tab out, but if you do know, please write it in the comments below and I might go in and update this. But for now, I'm gonna do an integer I resource ID and I child resource ID and a Boolean BR, I think we want. And then get field current value of O resource DD ref table resource dot ID to resource ID, and then similar one but from the child resource to the child resource ID. And then we want to make sure that we set the field changed value of related resource DD ref table related resource dot parent resource ID to resource ID, and we do the same with child resource ID, but this time it's gonna be the child. And send request save as usual F1, copy this piece here and we want to save on the related resource. Yep. And when we save this, as I said before, we want to save both from this one to the child and from the child back to this one. So when the related resource is saved, we want to do procedure save main file forward send save main file. So in here we want some integers, child ID and parent ID, and move related resource dot parent ID to parent ID, and then move related resource dot child to child ID. Now we clear the related resources, and then we move the parent ID to related resource dot child resource, and again we take the opposite, child to the parent resource, save record related resource, and that should do it. So if we now have a look at our database related resources, we only have this one that we created, so we should be able to go in and delete the current row. Yes. And now if we run this, click here, edit, and we pick number 8, OK. Now it wasn't added. Why is that? No, it was added, but if we go in here, we can see it's added there as well. And if we look at the database, refresh that one, we can see it has added correctly, though the grid did not really update correctly. So when we go back here and do request save, we might want to send grid refresh. So let's go in and delete these ones again. And we try to run it. Edit, select our main resource, and now it's in here, but now all of a sudden it says Argus server. That's because we've just changed it. We switched it, so we want to switch it back here. So send request clear of related resource, and then we move, no, set field, no, we actually do move resource ID to related resource dot, and this one should be the parent, and then we move the iChild resource to related resource dot child, and then we say send request request find. Yeah, what? Request find of related the dictionary file number 1, and that's related resource. That should do it. So now go back to the database again, refresh, Shift F2, Shift F2. Let's rerun this application. And add our little router. And now we can see the router in here, and it has been added. And the router is here as well. All right. Where do we want to go next? We would like to be able to navigate between different resources in the same view. And we would also like to modify the pop-up so that it doesn't show the resource we're on or any of the resources that is already connected to it. And it should not show the templates either. So that is for the next episode. And that's all for me today. See you then. Bye bye.